Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're just going to do a quick video on the Ford keyless entry and Ford MyKey and some of the benefits to possibly getting a keyless entry and some of the options that are available with that. So we're going to go through setting up a MyKey and some of the benefits of having keyless entry and the push button start. So we'll go through some of the settings and some of the benefits of that. So Ford MyKey is a way that you can set up certain parameters for a certain key. So that way when you start the truck with a certain key in your pocket, certain settings will automatically come up. So you can do that for giving it to like a child or someone that you don't necessarily trust, or a mechanic or whatever. So you can set up things like top speed, safety features that are automatically turned on, volume settings and things like that. So we'll kind of go through how to set all that up so that way you can have a master key and a MyKey, and then how to reset it at the end. So yeah, we'll take a look at that. So in order to set up the MyKey, you first have to start the truck, which I'll do right now, and let it go through its setup procedure. Then it'll kick in, and then the way that we will set up MyKey is to go to the vehicle settings, and then there's a thing called MyKey. So then we'll do a create MyKey. So before we create MyKey, we'll put the key in what they call the backup location. And in the Ford F-150 Lariat version, there's two cup holders. There's two cup holders here, and the MyKey location is in the back cup holder location. There's a little slot there where you can set the MyKey in. So the MyKey will be your secondary key. I accidentally set up my primary key as MyKey, and then I wasn't able to undo it until I got my wife's backup key. So make sure it's your secondary key, and then you set it into the key slot, and then on the screen you can go to create MyKey, and then you can say yes, create MyKey, and there's a little radio frequency reader in the cup holder there that will create it. And now here's all the different settings that you can do for MyKey. So there's MyKey information that says we have one key, one admin key, and one MyKey. You don't have to have the admin key in the truck when you set it up, but you need the admin key in the truck if you go to remove it. So then there's all the like safety settings here, so you can have it so people can turn on or off traction control, set the max speed, or you can turn on a speed minder, so that way if you go over a certain speed, I think you'll get a warning, plus a whole bunch of other things. So once you set that up, and the one I found interesting was the volume limiter, so you can set that in there, so it'll allow you to only set the volume to 45%, so someone can't get in here and blow your speakers on you by playing the music too loud. And yeah, so it basically sets up all the basic security settings that someone can't shut off and go for a joyride in your truck. So once all that's set up, then you just go back, and then you can pull it out. So you just remove the key and put it back in your little holder there to hide it back again, and there, you're ready to go. So now we'll just shut the truck off and start it with the MyKey to show what that looks like. Yeah, so now I'm back in the truck with the key that we just set up as MyKey, and you can see how it went back to the personal settings of key number 2, which is also kind of nice. If you have two different people driving the vehicle, you can set up a personal profile, so it goes back to the exact same settings that you find comfortable based on your key and who's driving it. Yeah, so now we'll start up the truck with my key and we can kind of see the safety settings that we set up there. So turn on the truck, and then it says my key active. I can't go above 130 kilometers an hour. And then on top of that, if you look down here, you can yeah, so now I'm back in the truck with the key that we just set up as my key, and you can see how it went back to the personal settings of key number 2, which is also kind of nice. If you have two different people driving the vehicle, you can set up a personal profile, so it goes back to the exact same settings that you find comfortable based on your key and who's driving it. Yeah, so now we'll start up the truck with my key and we can kind of see the safety settings that we set up there. So turn on the truck, and then it says my key active. I can't go above 130 kilometers an hour. And then on top of that, if you look down here, you can see down here that the safety features are active. So there's a front-facing camera with forward collision avoidance, and it's a little bit hard to see. We can turn on the driver assistant, so there's little bars here on the side that show that there's lane keeping assist that automatically comes on, and you do have the option to shut it off, but the forward sensing system will always be active. So if you come up on another vehicle, you'll see a little icon on the screen showing that there's someone in front of you, and I've never got too close to someone to test out what it'll do, but I think it would start braking before you ran into the back of someone. So it's kind of nice that those things automatically come up. So for me driving, I personally prefer for the lane keeping assist to not be on. I drive on back roads and roads that don't have really well-defined lines or shoulders, so when you're going down hills and around corners and stuff like that, it doesn't work as well, and it kind of gives you a jittery motion that tries to keep you in what it thinks the center of the lane is, which works really well generally speaking, but on gravel roads and stuff, it's a little bit unnerving, especially when it's slippery out. So I just generally shut that off just to be safe. I've never had a bad experience with it, but yeah, I just prefer to have it on. But with the my key, it's all automatically activated as soon as you start the truck. So yeah, no, so we'll just go through how to remove my key in case you set something up and want it to go back to having no parameters set on it. So we'll just quickly go through. So to remove the my key, we'll start where the truck shut off. I have the primary key in the master key in my pocket here, and then also the my key secondary key. So we'll start the truck, and then we will go and put the key back in the backup location again. And I think this is pretty much consistent for all newer Fords, not just the F-150, but it's the backup key location may change a little bit. And then we'll go to my vehicle settings again, go to my key, and then if you scroll down to the bottom, you can say clear all my keys, and then say yes. And now it's cleared successfully. So when we start the vehicle back up again, then they won't, the safety features won't automatically be active. So if you look at the screen now where it's not on my key, and you go back up to my view and go to menu and go to truck info, and I think if we go to driver assistance, that screen, we can turn on the lane keeping assist. Okay, well, that's how you go through the setup of my key and the removal of a my key. It's a pretty handy thing to have. Took me quite a while to figure out how that works and what it does for you, but I've played it around with it a bit. Definitely if I go to lend the vehicle to someone, I'll probably set up some of those settings just to be on the safe side. Yeah, so hopefully you enjoyed the video and found the information useful. I'm going to try to put out a video once a week from now on or so. So if you hit the notification button and like and subscribe to this video, you'll hopefully find out more useful information about the F-150 Power Boost or the F-150 Lariat specific things, or the F-150 in general and my experiences with it and the review of the truck. Yeah, so thanks for watching and see you next